Welcome to Life Event Staffing's Meet the Partners series. This is the 12th episode of our series where we take a deep dive into each of our partners, explore what they bring to fundraising events, and how we collaborate to provide clients with an unparalleled experience. Today, I am excited to be joined by Daniel Law, the VP of Operations at Givergy. But before we dive into our conversation, I want to remind you to like and subscribe to our videos if you find them useful. If you haven't checked out our previous episodes, click the playlist button and enjoy. You might be considering a technology or auctioneer for your next event and want to see how life event staffing complements their services. Take a look at our partners and see if you're already working together. And if you have any recommendations for partners we should work with, please do let us know. Alright, let's get started. Today's episode with Givergy. Givergy is a leading name in the industry globally, with the extensive experience in enhancing fundraising events through innovative technology and with a strong track record of successful events and satisfied clients. They have made a significant impact in the world of fundraising. So, hey Dan, tell us more about Givergy and your role within the company, please.
Yes, Lauren, thanks so much for having me. My name is Daniel Law. I'm Vice President of Operations here at Givergy. So I've been with the company for a little under 9 years now, which has gone unbelievably quickly. So I started back in London, as you can tell where I'm from. And I'd worked in sales for 7-8 years now, moved to the operational side of the business. And here at Givergy, we provide fundraising solutions to clients, to nonprofits, to leverage at their events or online. So whether that is a silent auction, so mobile bidding, a pledge drive, ticketing, check-in, procuring auction items, really everything in between. And down to our relationship with you, the support on site as well, and having that unified approach to fundraising.
Okay, so what would you say your primary focus is as far as what you are offering? Or is it customer service, technology?
I think something at Givergy that we really try to focus on is customer service. So we have products to cater for really all areas of the market. We have the more DIY solution where you and your team completely know what you're doing and you just need the system to get you up and running. Perhaps get walked through with a couple of introductory calls, and then what we call our community, which is how-to guides, how-to videos for how to utilize the various areas of the system, best practices, and so on and so forth. Really down to the more white glove approach, where you'll have a dedicated customer success manager that will walk you through every aspect of the events. Again, recommending what we see from a global trend. The nice thing is we're able to look at sort of the global patterns, and US has always amazingly been at the forefront of that, in recommending best practices for fundraising, processes, that sort of thing. We're able to utilize all of that knowledge and really bring it down to what we can see on the individual event, which is obviously nice.
Right, so it really is an across-the-board offering. Like you say, from DIY through to white glove, meaning the client can decide how much involvement they have in applying your solutions to their fundraiser. I guess what's a good point to expand into is how we support Givergy clients. Can you maybe tell us more about your perspective on how we have evolved as partners?
Yeah, of course. So I think so especially your relationship with Givergy goes back quite far. I know there's been that history back in the UK where we're obviously both from, and that familiarity there. And we've been working together, I want to say for 3 years now, since we first had those conversations. And that introduction came obviously from that relationship prior, but something that, especially since I've been here in the US, has always been a struggle is how can we make our staffing very scalable, we'll also keep it as a strength. We want to, these people at the end of the day are the face of Givergy. We work with a client throughout the whole time span of their event, but we want to make sure that the people on site are really clued up about the event, really clued up about their mission, that they feel like an extension of the client, but also, of course, an extension of us. They're fully trained, they know what they're doing, they're professional, and they're eager to help out. And I think that's something that has come very naturally when working with you guys, which is obviously nice. I think it's something that has allowed us to develop it into a strength over those 3 years.
Definitely. And I'd like to add here, because we are only a young company here at Life, that my personal history working in the industry, the whole concept of Life was kickstarted following initial discussions about rolling out Givergy training to our staffing network, who were already familiar with a different platform. It subsequently then opened the doors to expand my team's knowledge across even more fundraising technologies, hence why we are growing Life so rapidly. So it was great when we first had those discussions, Dan.
Yeah, of course. And I think it's something that we always looked for when we did staffing independently, was having people that are like-minded, that really do care about fundraising, that are experienced in the industry. I think it's something that is really, really important when delivering these events. There's some sort of experience in there and knowing how to handle the environment. And that's obviously been a major factor in the success that we've had, is utilizing and leveraging all that experience to deliver the best possible experience for the clients. And I think, it's been huge.
Awesome. And without wanting to go over the pandemic yet again, it has had a huge impact on the industry, and we have heard from other partners about how it changed their models. So for you, how have you adapted over the last few years?
So I think the pandemic was a real turning point for the product, and I think the industry in general. I don't think anyone really saw us having to make that virtual pivot so quickly and so extremely. But it certainly highlighted areas of the product that we really wanted to focus on and improve. I think we've always wanted to have a solution that's obviously very easy to use, that people can pick it up for the first time and immediately exactly know where they have to go without too much training and too much indication. But with the virtual pivot, it did just highlight the need for communication outward to the database and to the donors. So I think, especially in North America, there's a very obvious divide between sort of like the UK market and the North American market. When the North American market is certainly sort of more mobile focused, more mobile centric, with cell phone bidding, with online auctions, with paddle raises, and that sort of thing. So something that we've always done very well is the aesthetics of the system. So when we were utilizing more of the tablet approach, where we had tablets on all the tables, we were still able to make them look beautiful and have the very on-brand leaderboards on the screen detailing how much has been raised, who's the highest bidder, to get people engaged and to get people eager to take part. But we've been able to really move that to the cell phone approach as well. So, the guests will receive that link when they check in, or the morning of the event to welcome them, or even if it's an online auction, we can push that message out to people to say, the auction's open, please take part. We look forward to welcoming you tonight, whatever it might say. And to really have that personal experience is something that's been great to build on. I'm a bit of a nerd. I love the whole design aspect of the system, and making it feel like a personal approach.
So let's deep dive into successes. We have supported you on some really big events, and not just in the US, but in Canada too. Do you want to expand on how working together has helped us grow together?
I think when looking at successes, something that's really allowed us to do is to operate North America as one region. So Canada and United States always historically operated independently at Givergy, but working with partners like yourself has allowed us to really combine them and to deliver this universal approach for staffing, again, to make it very scalable. I think we're able to deliver events in the very rural areas, the remote areas of Canada, and the areas in the United States where we might not have the most experience, with fully trained, experienced staff, which has obviously been amazing. Some of the events that spring to mind, we have Philly Fights Cancer down in Philadelphia. We have Answer the Call in New York. Both of those events, I believe I'm right in saying, had 15, 20 or more staff. A fully trained team, fully prepped, sometimes multiple event managers, just because of the scale. There's so many people, there's so many tasks to do, to really take a lot of the management of the organization away from the client's team on site, and not have them be worried about how many people they have a check-in, if the check-in lines are moving swiftly, if people are happy with the bidding in the cocktail hour. By working together on that, we've really, I'd like to think, calmed a lot of nerves during those events, and taken that completely off their hands.
Can you give us an idea of how many attendees would be at an event where we assist with 15 or more staff down?
Answer the Call, I believe, was a little over 1,000, and Philly Fights Cancer even more so. I think that's one and a half, sometimes 2,000, depending on the year.
Tell us more about the culture at Givergy. You mentioned you started in the UK and now have expanded globally. How do you build and maintain your company values and mission across the world?
So, although Givergy was founded in London and we do have that global presence, there certainly is that full-time team here in North America. We have people located around the country, both from sales perspective, operational perspective, but also on the support team. So there's a 24/7 support line that's accessible to all clients. And some of those representatives are based here in America, and also the client success managers, customer success managers, are based on either coast. So it's been really important to make sure that company culture stays consistent. It's obviously much easier to accomplish when we are all based in one little London office, but I think with the global expansion of the business, the thing that's been a real focus, especially of the leadership, is to make sure that we do keep that connection. We don't lose sight of sort of who we are as a company and the values that we look to hold ourselves to. And I'd like to think that does follow through to the delivery, that it's not very much, it's not just the template and you get the site and it's good luck. There still is that sort of very close knit, wanting to help, wanting to deliver the best service we possibly can. I think that's very apparent to clients as well.
So how do you cater for the different fees and expectations across the globe?
Whilst it's important to have the products and services to deliver for a wide magnitude of clients that we do work for, it's equally as important that we do have the fee structures to cater for all different event shapes and sizes. So whether that is, the upfront fee, depending on what services and products are included, down to the commission-based structure. If an upfront fee might not be feasible, then we do have the different structures to cater for all sorts of clients, and can also supply auction items to help offset that cost if that's something that is of interest.
In the past, you mentioned a fee structure relating to 0 upfront fee, only commission fees. So what does that mean?
Yeah, so the 0% option is essentially, it's a no risk solution that we're able to offer to clients. So we completely appreciate that not everyone has the capability to pay that fee up front. So the 0% option is something we can offer because we're that confident in our product, in our service, in our delivery, that we just know it's going to be a success. So we don't take any payment up front. and the percentage is fixed based on the amounts raised.
Cool. Okay. So let's get a feel of the size of your operation then. Like, how many events are you forecasting, and how much have non-profits raised through your platform?
So in terms of numbers, so we're looking to deliver, I believe it's a little under 2,000 events globally over the next 12 months. And what's quite a nice number is, since our inception as Givergy, we've just hit $1 billion raised, which is obviously amazing. And again, looking at the statistics is something that I always loved to do. I was in sales for 8 years, and I've since moved to the operational side of the business. But in both roles, something that I really enjoyed doing is working with a client and working with their CSM, their customer success manager, to really analyze where we can be more profitable. So where we can get more funds raised, whether that's at the pledge drive, whether we're looking at how many people in a room, focusing audience participation is something that has been massive here in the US, in not being so bold as to say, we want to raise $200,000 or we want to raise $10,000 in 10 minutes and you're going to help us do it. Of course that's very effective, but there's a lot of people in that room that might not have paid for the ticket. It might be a guest of a guest, and we appreciate that not everyone can give at the high levels in a donation moment. But by really uniting the room and saying, we just want everyone to give something, $10, $20, and anything does help. By taking that approach has been amazing, because not only does it help with the dollars raised, it helps with the data as well. So that person might be unknown to the nonprofit coming in, but by even just giving that $50 donation, it's someone that is now a donor. It's someone that you can say thank you to. It's someone that you can hit up next year to say thank you so much generosity last year. If you'd like to purchase your own table or your own tickets, this is how you do so, and really foster that connection with a new donor. So I think we certainly have all the stats under the sun in terms of the events we've delivered, what we recommend, what we know works. But I think also working with our internal team and taking that very personal approach with the client with an event is something that's been so effective.
Sounds great. Before we wrap up, do you have an example of an event where these types of approaches really have helped a client?
So yeah, an example of that is we were working with a client that had roughly 280 to 300 guests in their audience, and a pledge drive was never really a massive focus for them. I think the year before using us, they only had 7 donations, and they raised a good amount of money. They raised $25,000, but in their audience, that's less than 3% of the people taking part. So year one with Givergy, we really tried to make that a focus. We said there's a huge area you're missing here of easy fundraising, of effective fundraising. We can tap into this. So the first year with Givergy, they had 180 guests, so 100 people less. They had 72 donations, so that's almost 40%, and they raised a little over 500,000. So again, that's obviously an amazing scenario, and there's a plethora of examples with clients where we've either gone from pen and paper auction to mobile auction. We've gone from having a donation moment without really thinking about how we're running it, where we're having it in the evening, if we're having it at the end of the evening, or should we bring that forward to have it sometime during dinner where people are still fully engaged. Really down to, as I said, utilizing all this data that's going through the system, because it's so powerful, and it's here. We have the data to our available to us. So the best that we can leverage that, and the best that we can display that to the audience, and really give them encouragement to donate and to take part, and to make it fun. I think sometimes people are very wary of presenting too much to an audience, and to step on toes. Thankfully, it's not look at too dimly here in America. Certainly in London, it's something that's still a bit scary to them. But I think being able to really unite the room, make that fun, make that engaging. It doesn't have to be an off-putting ask. So that's something that's been amazing to build on and to fester over the last 7-8 years.
Thanks so much, Dan.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Lauren. It's been good fun, and thank you for everything over the last couple of years. I look forward to the many more successes ahead with Givergy and life event staffing. I would be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to Michael for all the hard work he does for us. So yeah, thank you. Look forward to chatting again soon.
We really appreciate your time today. And guys, if you want to get in touch with Givergy, here are the details. Or alternatively, you can reach out to me directly and I will put you in touch. As always, please do like and subscribe if you have enjoyed this content. It helps others find this video and can improve future events for our non-profits worldwide. Look out for the next episode and thank you for joining us. Bye.